Hey guys, we are here at CEDIA 2024 with David with Alcons Audio. David, you and I met last year at CEDIA 2023. You've got some incredible products, but you got some new stuff we're going to be talking about. David, it's a pleasure hanging out with you. Tell us what you brought to the show.
Yeah, thanks for coming down again. It's a very exciting show for us. So we're introducing for the first time in the world our brand new line source screen channel system. A lot of really innovative technology involved in this. A lot of innovative technology in Alcons audio in general. It's I call us the best kept secret in the industry. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'll give you some history and what really sets us apart, you know, in this massive landscape of speaker companies. So yeah, we also are doing kind of a soft introduction of the new amplifier series as well. That's going to be released and hopefully shipping before the end of the year. But, you know, we're the new kids on the block, right? So we have to tell the story, we have to let people know who we are, what makes us different. But it's been an incredible show so far. And this show is the most fun. You know, we're doing fun things here. We're listening to the latest movie stuff. We're listening to the greatest technology, greatest projectors. All this stuff comes together. Makes it an incredible experience. So yeah, very exciting stuff.
Well, David, what I love is when I get to interview people like you, you're not just building a brand, you're not just building a speaker. This is your heartbeat. Like, this is who you are.
Oh yeah.
And you're taking what you're passionate about and putting it in something physical so that you and me can enjoy that same experience.
It's about the experience, right? I mean, that's why we're in this industry.
Sure.
You know, for me, I've been in the audio world for over 30 years now.
Right.
And mostly in the pro side, right? You know, everything from recording studios to concert halls, and that's also the background of Alcons Audio. I mean, we're a Dutch company. We've been around since 2002, so relatively young, you know, in the landscape of our competitors. In the U.S., we've been here since 2011, so still feels like a long time to me, but still the young new guys. And then in CEDIA, the residential thing, I think our first CEDIA show was 2016, maybe. We missed a couple years during that crazy COVID time, but it's been an incredible ride. It's the awareness is growing rapidly. This last year, record-breaking sales.
Awesome.
And for us, you know, we're still in capture dealer mode, getting some new dealers, and that's my role. I'm the sales guy here in North America. But what's driving us into this market is the response we're getting from the users and the people that come and experience it. We've got, you know, the Keith Yates Designs guys have a project with this brand new system already going down in Beverly Hills. We've got Russ Berger. We had a great dinner with Russ. He's such a beautiful spirit and soul, and so brilliant. Like, you know, he's forgotten more than I'll ever learn, right? But we're doing some great projects with him. So the design community is really driving us into the market, and it's a lot of fun. These are just fun projects. It's not a bunch of ceiling speakers in a mall. It's high-end home theaters. It's post stages, and that's our pro side, right? We do a lot of dub stages, post facilities, the guys that are mixing the stuff that we end up hearing in these home theaters, and that's kind of to bring it all back around. What's kind of unique about us, you know, the guys in the studios are using our systems, and now you can have that same exact technology in the home theater. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
And we're going to talk more in detail inside, but I see there's a little variation between the style of this speaker, line source, and we got some point source over here, correct? So you're a wide variety there.
Well, what I want to do is when we get into the theater, I'm going to bring in Walter and Tom, part of our team, the technology side. Tom Back is our managing director and the founder of the company from the Netherlands. And this market, and as well our new studio monitor stuff, that's his passion.
Awesome.
So I'm going to have him give you kind of, he'll give you the what's a line source, what's a point source breakdown. And Walter will talk about how we balance these rooms, because there's so much tech going on, you know, with waveforming and all the subwoofer technology that's being applied, and cylindrical wavefront propagation, and all these big words, right? What is it? What does it mean, right? So we'll talk a little bit more about that inside. So are you ready to check it out? Go on in.
Absolutely. Well, the great thing here is all the dealers and other vendors, they get a chance to not only just come and look and see and touch, they get to go inside and experience, and that's what I'm excited about. So why don't we just head on inside, David? We'll talk about it, but then we'll do some demos, maybe.
I'd love to hear a track, get a chance to hear it and experience it.
And maybe I can share with you. There's no way we can capture that experience on the audio, but I'd love to share my thoughts on it. And then we can talk about some of those clips.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
Awesome. Let's head on inside.
So Michael, I want to share with you a little bit about our technology.
Okay.
And I want to share with you a little bit about the team that we brought together here. And then we're going to sit down and we can talk to Tom Back, the founder and managing director of the company from the Netherlands. He's here with us. And we'll talk a little bit to our friend Walter Fortmuller, who's our system design and optimization specialist. He's out of Austria.
Yeah.
We bring him into all these shows because he's really good at designing and optimizing these rooms. But I think the really key component of the Alcons story is the pro-ribbon transducer technology. So I want to spend a minute just talking about that. This is a really unique technological advancement that we have, and we're really fortunate. You know, when I joined this company, it was because I saw that these guys had something that was different and evolutionary and really pushing the boundaries of what you should expect as far as low distortion, dynamic capacity, all of that good stuff. So to put some of this in perspective, so ribbon drivers have always been kind of considered sweet sounding, right?
Yeah.
But fragile. Well, it's not the case with this guy, right? So this thing is pretty much indestructible. I mean, in the first 12, 13 years in the US, we've not had a single driver failure.
Wow.
Right? So we have a 1 to 15 dynamic range capacity versus a 1 to 2 for a typical compression driver.
Okay.
So it just allows us to do things like push through a screen, a perforated screen, and still maintain high dynamics.
Okay.
And with cinematic stuff or live concerts, like we do live concert systems too, right?
Yeah.
We do all that pro stuff. Those are such demanding environments from a dynamic standpoint. We've got the tools for it, and we're really able to set ourselves apart. So much more stuff I can share about that. We can nerd out and geek out at any point, but that's really at the heart of what sets us apart. So I wanted to make that clear. So what we're doing in here, so Sound Room 5, CEDIA 2024, this is a 9.x.6 system.
Okay.
We've got the brand new screen channel, the CRMSQ, and you can see them flanking the screen left and right, and we've got the center channel, of course, right in there behind the screen. All of our surrounds in here are part of the CRMS series, Cinema Reference Monitor Systems, and that's actually what all of our pro clients are using as well, to mix film and streaming content and Atmos stuff with these same speakers.
So we're getting in our own home theater what the engineers and the sound mixer. Dude, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
Yeah. We've actually got a friend out here in Colorado tonight mixing at Red Rocks. He won a Grammy for the Joni Mitchell live recording last year, and he did it all with an Alcons system.
Love it.
And he's like dying to come down here because he wants to hear the new studio monitors, which we brought as well. So it's a really cool full circle thing, right? From the inception and the content creation to the playback environment. So something that we're really proud of. So the surrounds, part of that CRMS range. Cool thing about them, we've got some really interesting horn options that allow us to make sure we can cover the entire listening area very uniformly.
Sure, because we got like 3 rows of 5, so we got 15 people.
All
we
on
want
the same
everybody
level.
to get a good experience.
Yeah, and I got to hand it to Walter, our guy that set this all up and optimized it. He was in here with lasers and doing all that stuff, right? So we've got really uniform coverage. As far as subwoofers, you can kind of see it on the back wall. This is a double bass array room. And again, we leaned heavy into Walter to get this working, and basically he can say more about it, but I think what's going on is you take that wave front from the front stage and it hits the back wall and it comes back in and creates havoc. This is what I've learned from Walter this year. That back array is basically canceling out those rear reflections to create that uniformity. So every seat has that same experience. So a lot of cool technology going on in here. The response has been phenomenal. We're having a good time.
Good. So we got 8 subwoofers in here? 4 in the back, 4 in the front? 18s?
Yeah, it's a true 18-inch sealed subwoofer. Extends down below 10 hertz. Gets you that, that serious rumble, that
You're speaking my love language there, David. I love single digits. I love those low frequencies. I love that tactile experience that you get. And a lot of my audience, they'll ask me, like, Michael, is there really content that low? Absolutely. I imagine, I've heard some different demos and like Dune 2. I guarantee, I'm hearing some subs out here right now. That note just keeps dropping in film. And so you want to make sure that you capture that. And I love the fact that your subwoofer is able to capture that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a different thing for us, right? Like in the pro category, we have to optimize the subwoofers for output in large concert halls and things like that. In this world, we need to optimize for extended frequency response. And so that's something we've really achieved with this package, and it's really taken off. We're really pleased with it, and the customer's response to it is really positive as well. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We did a little acoustic treatment in here, but
Sure.
as you can tell by listening to everything that's going on out there, these rooms are not ideal.
Correct.
You throw a room together like this in 2 or 3 days, and you have to really, again, lean heavy into your system optimization guys. And there's a lot of smart people here.
Yeah.
And Walter's our guy. He took care of all of that, and we'll talk to him a little bit as well. But we've got a clip lined up for you.
Okay.
I think we're going to go with the Mad Max Furioso clip. That's my favorite of this year's mix.
I haven't watched the whole film. I've only heard one demo so far.
Right.
So I'm excited to hear what your system sounds like on that.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, let's sit down, and I'll introduce Tom and Walter, and then we'll fire that clip, and then afterwards we can talk about the experience.
Sounds great.
Awesome. So, Michael, I want to introduce you to the team here at the show, some of the key components of our team. This is Tom Back, the managing director and founder of Alcons Audio. He's here from the Netherlands. He's a man of many talents. He's deep in the engineering side, but also sales, marketing, all the factory folks. He works very closely with our CFO who runs the factory. So busy guy. He's out on the road a lot with us, but this is a very passionate market for us and for him as well. So glad to have him here. And then Walter Fortmuller, again, a big supporting component of our team. His company ZENZARU, he does the system design and optimization in here. So I'm going to let them answer some questions after we watch a couple of clips, of course. But Tom will be the guy to answer things like, what is a line source, you know, and Walter will be the guy to say, how does you know, double base array work, and what does it do, and what's the benefit of it, and things like that. So, really happy to have these guys here. They make this this trip a lot of hard work, but they make it a lot of fun too.
So what clip are we lining? What are we going to see first?
Yeah, I think we're going to go with the Furioso. I mean, Dune 2 is a great one too. We've been watching both of those back and forth, but Furioso, the new Mad Max, is great. Very dynamic, great dialogue, a lot of really cool stuff going on in there. So it's the one that I've been like getting the goosebumps from. So yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah, so Michael, we just watched Furioso, the clip. You know, it's been turning heads all week. You know, everyone loves this clip. What did you think? What was your impression?
So, number one, the bass response in this room is ridiculous. I mean, we've got 8 subwoofers pressurizing this room. I'm feeling it in my chest. My pants legs are shaking. And I love that low end extension. When the tower falls and it hits, there's a deep, massive rumble. And I think there was one other part that really stood out to me. When the truck runs into, what did he hit?
He runs into the tower.
The tower itself.
Yeah.
Big explosion, big emphasis there on that low LFE. And then another part I realized is that, or kind of stood out to me, there was a part where the tower was, I think, falling.
Yeah.
And you got all the guns,
the bullet shells. Yeah,
all around. You're hearing this intricacy and the detail and the clarity. And I love that about your system. This has sounded really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's a really impressive clip. It really highlights, you know, what we're able to accomplish in here with these systems. And the Pro Ribbon Driver, you know, is really at the heart of it. So at this point, I'm going to have Tom talk a little bit about that and just, you know, give us 20 years of history in 5 minutes, Tom, if you can do so, if you don't mind.
Oh, that was it. Now, well, 20 years in 5 minutes. I mean, it feels like it's only 5 years. That's the strange thing. But yeah, very intense. 20 years. I can't believe it's been 20 years. I mean, we've been now for more than 10 years in the US. Yeah, it's interesting ride. I guess in general, the most you know, important thing that is to me is very important in when you develop products like this, or at a specific market segment, you really want to get the best out of the experience of whatever creative process, whether it's a movie or that. At the end of the day, it's not us, but it's like the people that work with our equipment. And the biggest factor for me is that people put their you know, 30, 40, 50 year reputation behind our products, our systems. So that's a big responsibility.
Sure.
It's easy to talk about the nice things, that how the products sound, what they sound like, and people ask you what do you have at home.
Right.
I have no Alcons at home. I just can't afford it. I still wave the JVC flag that I once worked for 30 years, believe it or not. So that, anyway, and I don't have time to enjoy it at home. But now it's been 20 interesting years. In some markets, particularly in Pro Audio market, our direct colleagues, if you wish, have been around for 40, 45 years.
Wow.
So in that sense, we're rather new to the market.
Yeah, that's a long time though. I mean, when you say new, I'm thinking, all right, you're 2 years into this thing, 3 years into this.
Yeah, totally.
You might be the new kids on the block, but you've been around, you've been in the industry, and you've got that wealth of knowledge and experience that you're bringing to the table, building and developing and engineering an amazing system that you put together.
Yeah, and you, things go so fast, time goes so fast, but we still learn every day, and when we enter the residential market, it was more or less by coincidence. It was not really a task when we started. So particularly in the US market, because from the pro cinema range that we had from day one, there was a quite rather strange mix that we entered pro audio, and people said we also do cinema. Yeah. I wrote a business plan when I started. I wrote a business plan. You have to have some sort of plan, and it was on professional cinema. And of course, the first customer you get is from South Korea, and it's a pro audio customer, and you know, the whole cinema plan goes out of the window. But so we already sold in India a lot of smaller C-series pro cinema series range products. But it wasn't until we were invited to support the Barco introduction of a big laser projector that we were actually confronted with the CEDIA show, this show.
Yeah.
And then we said, hey, we've got something, and people were very interested, and we had a very good response on the initial showing.
Yeah.
And we've been here more or less ever since. Yeah. And you know, it's a learning curve. If you want to enter a market, it's not about you push a product that you think in a market and say, well, eat it or beat it. You need to absorb what they say, what the response is, and you have to translate it. Right?
Well, I love how you said you need to take the feedback that you're given and build a product based on the needs of the consumer. So we've got consumers here, they're dealers, but they're consumers. Absolutely. They have home theaters. What's that experience been like, them coming through? What have been some of the responses from them that have heard this amazing system? Yeah,
well, there's two sides of me, as Dave said. Well, there's a number of sides, but let's say the commercial side says, you love to get great feedback because it's been non-stop great feedback. But the engineering part of me says, I want more criticism. I want more people say this or that.
Wow.
And we don't get the criticism, but we're self-critics.
Sure.
So you see developments, you see what you can bring to the table. I think a great example is how CEDIA evolves, like for RP22. Peter Aleph and his team.
Sure.
That is, for us, it's sort of coming from Pro Audio, sliced bread, right? It's like directivity control, more insights in the response of a room inside, sort of a system inside the room.
Right, sure.
And all of those things. And then what the nice part is that is an excellent platform for us to show where we are, why the product approves itself.
Right.
It's not only the sweet sounding, but there's a lot of stuff behind it.
Yeah.
And then initiatives like RP22 are essential to bring the industry forward, and it's a great platform, as I said, for us to show where we are engineering-wise. So, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so 20 years in more than 5 minutes, but we focus on residential, but we have so many things going on. The momentum in all markets is, I literally can say it's overwhelming, because of course back home we have the factory. Well, last year we grew another 50%, and if you do that annually, and building an organization, it's everything is made in the Netherlands. So we have CNC routers, you got the electronics department, we build our own drivers.
Wow. Okay, so everything's in house.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that, but well, then you get humans. You have to hire employees, and and they're doing a great job, but that's a handful, or more than a handful.
Sure.
Of course, we've got folks for that, but. It's, as I said, it's intense, and if we want to grab the momentum and the opportunity and enthusiasm of the people.
Sure.
You know, Sean Quackenbush is doing Red Rocks tonight.
Yeah.
You know, and he's all wrapped up at it. And Robert Scoville is touring with small monitor system at his desk.
Right.
With Kenny Chesney. We have so much. Hamilton in Broadway, for instance.
Wow, really?
Has been a long time user of Alcons.
Sure.
We've got Levels Audio studios in Los Angeles, Icon Group, so on and on and on.
Yeah.
So let's say if outside of the US, there's 4 words, and then everyone understands wherever we are. You say Nashville, you say Los Angeles, you say Hollywood, and you say Broadway, and everyone's like, okay.
We're there.
And that's the importance of the US market, and that's
Yeah.
the reason why we entered. Well, it's more than 10 years.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And we got Dave on board, and you know, it's been a ride, but you know, you feel that the best is yet to come.
Yeah.
And the momentum is rapidly increasing and
Yeah.
rising. So
Yeah. This has been a challenging year.
yeah.
For all the good reasons,
For
though,
the
right?
good reasons,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know, you want to grab it,
Yep.
and you don't want to sit back and.
Sure.
A bit of, you know, examples, because I would see we're sort of an next generation is a bit of overrated, but let's say I would say next generation in terms of pro audio, that first generation started end of the 60s, early 70s.
Right.
And as I said, our colleagues in that market come from that first generation.
Yeah.
And we're in the second generation, so you can do things different, but you still have to obey the laws of market segments where you enter. And I think if we play it right and you bring some new technology, one of the things is of course pro audio, but it's a lot more than just this trick.
Sure.
You know, we just happen to have almost 40 years background in this stuff, so for us it's just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if in case of entering the US, you bring something new, but you talk about competition of 45 years, and as a next generation company, so you have to position yourself in a bit of a different way.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, let's squeeze in some chat with Walter, our friend over there.
Walter, we met last year. Walter is a hoot, guys. I love his heart. I love his passion for the hobby. But Walter, you're I would call a creative genius. And what I mean by that, Walter takes complex rooms. These are challenging. They're not ideal. But it's Walter's job to make it sound the best it can for every one of these 15 seats here, while all the noise is going on outside. So Walter, give us some feedback, some background of what does it take to transform this room into a true cinema experience, and what does that look like?
Let me start by quoting Tom, actually. Tom mentioned that trade shows, the environments we have to work in, the acoustics, the noise floor that you can just hear outside, the 60 dB plus, without me talking or the system playing.
Exactly.
You have to overcome all those, and those aspects, they make our life and my life not easy, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I would put it in a different way. It's Alcons' unique properties. All the technology that we just heard about actually make my life possible and our life possible in a scenario like that. So that's a huge privilege to have tools at hand that can actually overcome all those aspects that are hitting us, and to bring all that into balance, and have the coherency throughout the listening area. That's the big thing. That's actually my job. That everybody throughout the listening area has the same experience. And if you think about it, last year we had this conversation about bass. The first time we actually did this double bass array.
Double bass array.
In context of a trade show. So I love this concept. I do it for 15 years. I think my first was 15 years ago now.
Wow, so you've been doing this a long time.
Manually lining that, phase aligning, dime aligning that. It takes a couple of days. These days, the past few years, it also made my life very easy in a way, because I now have tools that support that process and actually allow me to do it in a time frame that fits the requirements of the trade show, I would say. And we were quite adventurous. So last year we discussed our double bass array in context of Trinnov waveforming processing.
Yeah.
That's the one tool.
Yeah.
This year, we just wanted to show that it is really independent. The experience must be independent from
Right.
external processing,
Yeah.
as well as our systems must be completely detached from that. It's just a tool,
Yeah.
the right tool for the job,
Yeah.
and we should be able to give our customers, our audience, the same experience. So this year we use Storm audio processing,
Yeah.
all digital path again, and actually I kept the DBA layout just the same, spot on the same layout we had last year, and we applied direct art to it,
Yeah.
and the results are just as stunning. And yeah, it's a fortunate thing to be able to excel against the competition
Sure.
on that particular playground under those circumstances, and have the tools to do that.
I love it. You'll need the mic.
I think we need a couple more hours, Michael.
Yeah, I know we need a couple more hours, but I hear a line forming. And as a matter of fact, every time we walk by the booth, there's a line out the door wrapped around your building. And so I have a feeling a lot of them are telling other people.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that.
Well, this is the last day, and that's what happens, right?
You got to go check out, hey, have you heard this? Have you checked this out?
Yeah.
And so they just keep forming and forming, and
Yeah.
it gets longer and longer.
I know, yeah.
One more feedback. May I? So one more feedback. We can discuss all those technicalities for ages.
Yeah.
On day one, I got like the biggest compliment we can get. We had a client in our presentation, and he just said he completely lost himself in the movie.
Wow. That's what we
He
want.
completely lost himself in the art.
Yeah.
He didn't think about DBA. He
The
didn't
gear,
think about
yep.
the layout, the Atmos, the line array in front.
Yes.
He was lost in the moment and in the movie and
Yeah.
in the music, and that is what it's all about.
You know you've put together an incredible system, and you've dialed it in accurately when it completely disappears. The last thing you want is something pulling you out of the movie. Oh, I heard that, or
Right.
man, you're localizing bass.
Yeah.
You just want to be in that movie.
Yeah. It's about the experience.
And that's what you've put together here at the
Yeah.
show. And that's tough to do in 3 days
Yeah.
and in a non-ideal room. So I just want to commend you and your team. Y'all done an incredible job.
Thank you so
with
much,
this.
Michael. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Hope the viewers get something out of it as well. Yeah, we're really excited about this market, and the technology just lends itself so well to creating that experience. So thanks very much.
Well, I love what you're doing. Guys, you got to figure out a way. How can they hear Alcons? I mean, the unfortunate thing, CEDIA isn't for end users like me.
Right.
I just happen to get in because I'm press. But where can they hear Alcons? Is there a place?
You know, we're working on a dedicated showroom for North America,
Okay.
but we have places where we'll set up systems.
Sure.
We'll work with clients to identify an appropriate place
Okay.
for them to hear or
Yeah.
experience the system.
Sure.
And you can hear it and experience it in so many different ways now. Like go to Hamilton,
Okay.
go to the Red Rock show tonight. You know,
Nice. Okay.
call us. We'll sort it out and make sure you get a chance to experience the technology and what it does.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'll definitely leave your information down in the description. Head to their website, reach out to these guys. Come check this out. I guarantee it's going to put this right here on your face. It's a huge smile. It's going to evoke that motion that we want when we're listening to music, when we're watching movies. And like I said, David, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Keep innovating.
Thank you so much.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We got lots more coming from CEDIA 2024. Hope you guys have an incredible week. God bless, and we'll catch you in the next video.